everybody. It's Tanisha, also known as CraftT of CraftT Creations, LLC. And I am here today to do a tutorial on how to put together the 2020 Christmas Diva Wreath. And we called her here at CraftT Creations the front-facing Diva. If you'll remember last year, the Christmas Diva that I created was a side profile Diva. And we've done quite a bit with her over the course of the last year. This is her 1-year anniversary. This year, I released a wreath kit or silhouette that is forward facing. So we can do her a little bit different than we do the side facing Diva. But we're going to work on putting this together. This is one that I did in silver, black, and red, and white, using stuff that I picked up at the local Dollar Tree. And this one back here is another one I created in some different colors. And I got these balls and ribbon and all of that stuff at Walmart. So what we're going to do is put together the front-facing Diva. Now, on my website, there is a quick little tutorial that is kind of embedded in the pages there when you shop my products that show you how to put the basic 4 components of my wreath kit together. And that's the wood silhouette that you get. It is a 10-inch wreath form. It is a piece of corrugated plastic, depending on which size Diva head you pick. And it is also some zip ties that you use to attach the wreath form. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the steps of that entire process. You can check that out on my website at www.crafttcreations.com or right here on my YouTube channel, CraftT Creates. If you'll scroll through some of the videos that I have listed, there is one specific to how to put CraftT Creations Diva Wreath kits together. But what we're going to use, I'm not demonstrating the wreath form part. There is a video on that, as I said. But if you didn't purchase a kit from me, what I recommend is, of course, getting the head or cutting your own out of whatever material you choose. If you remember originally, I did these out of foam in my Cricut machine. Originally is what we did. And then we turned them into wood and made them real nice and sturdy. You can use a piece of corrugated plastic. You can get these in sheets at Michael's craft store, any kind of craft store like that. And you want to cut out a 12-inch circle. That's what this is. Might be able to do that on the Cricut Maker, but I do not think the Air Explorer is going to do that. One thing you can buy outright at any craft store, Walmart, any of that, is a cake board. This is a 10-inch cake board, but you will likely need a 12-inch cake board. You get it, it's already a perfect cardboard circle, and that works wonderfully. And if you'll have those items along with your head, whatever balls that you're going to use, a hot glue gun, and paints to do her face or Cricut vinyl, we are going to get started on putting together the front-facing Christmas Diva 2020. Now, one of the first things that I do with my Diva, depending on what the customer wants or what it is that I'm making, is I paint her. I may paint her, I may not actually, depending on what skin tone I want my Diva to be. Okay, I'm not actually going to demonstrate how to paint this because I have several tutorials that already do so, but I do want you to know these are the paints that I recommend. This is the Rust-Oleum 2x Ultra Cover Paint Plus Primer. This is a color I use a lot. This is called Satin Warm Caramel. Okay, and that's the color that I used on this Diva face right here. Okay, that's what that color looks like. And this is one, also Rust-Oleum 2x brand, the same, is called Ivory Silk. I use this color quite frequently when I'm making a Diva in this tone. For the sake of time, I'm not going to go through the process, but the wonderful thing about this 2x paint is you spray one coat, Depending on the color, especially in the ivory, you might have to do 2. It dries in about 15 minutes. I put it under a fan. It's usually done in about 15 minutes, and I can go right to work on my wreath. Now, when you paint your diva, or if you choose not to, we need to put a face on her. That's the first thing that we need to do before we add any hair, do any gluing, or anything of that nature. We need to put either paint on and her face, or just her face. Now, the way that I recommend putting a face on is what I did. I used Cricut vinyl. I cut out using the SVG files that I have on the website. There's about 20 different faces on there. You can download those, move them around in your Cricut design space. Those of you that know how to use that, that's going to be very helpful. You could also print them on sticker paper and cut them out, but that might be a little tedious on things like the eyelashes. Or what I did on the side diva that we did last year, I just drew the face on, not very good at it, but what resembled a face. Something as simple as like eyelashes and you know, like closed eyes resemble a face enough that the diva is decorated. It doesn't necessarily have to be full eyes like this. As you can see with her, it's just lashes closed and it resembles a face. So I'm going to use the diva that I've already put a face on, and that was done with Cricut vinyl. Just cut that out and basically stuck it on. You can even see she's a little crooked. She's one that I had saved to the side because I didn't get her face on. I didn't line it up like I was supposed to and tried to do it too fast, and she's a little off center. But for demonstration purposes, I'm going to use this silhouette and 12-inch piece of corrugated plastic, or you may be using cardboard, and I'm going to show you how to put this diva wreath together. So with these 2 items, now that you've painted her if you choose and applied the face in either Cricut vinyl or in acrylic paint, paints right on top of this face here. And let me add one more thing. I do recommend that you add a coat of clear acrylic. This is also the Rust-Oleum 2x brand. You do this after you have applied either vinyl, paint, acrylic, whatever you're going to do to decorate her. You seal this up with this Rust-Oleum 2x paint, okay? That takes also about 15 minutes to dry. 9 times out of 10, I do this portion of my wreath put together hours before I even start the gluing process, okay? This has been done, dried, sealed, everything, and it's just sitting, waiting on me to finish up the project. So let's get started on gluing the head to the corrugated plastic and adding the Christmas balls, which are the embellishments that we're going to use. Okay, so you've got your corrugated plastic and you have your decorated silhouette head. Now, the way I lined this up, I kind of did the circle, and though some of you may not remember or even know how we put our wreath together last year, please take a look at some of the other videos on this YouTube channel. It'll answer a lot of questions that many of you may have if you've never done one of these before. The original Christmas Diva is listed here, as well as the Deco Mesh Diva that Miss Shay Nails created, and the Diva with the leaves or flowers for hair. But in lining this up, I kind of used her chin as a guideline because we're going to make this look like an afro, okay? That's what this is essentially going to look like, an afro. You can kind of see it just a little bit there. But this circle is way too big, and I like the earrings to hang down or the ears to be distinctly different or apart from this plastic. So what I did with mine, because in the kit you're getting this circle, it's not cut or shaped any differently for this kit than it is for any of the others, okay? So I kind of line this up. Those little soot marks on here are from our laser engraver that cuts our plastic, cuts our heads. We have industrial laser engravers that do that, if you guys see those marks on your silhouettes. But I kind of center the head where I want it, and just lightly I trace the outline of my Diva's, like a portion of her ear on down her neck. Now, once I have drawn that, I'm going to make certain that I cut from, you know, kind of where I don't want it to show, you know, anything in between these lines. I'm going to cut this off of here. And the way I found that works the best is by using a box cutter. Now, if you're using cardboard, if you're using the 10-inch cake board or the 12-inch cake board, you can cut that with scissors. Okay, you're going to trace around it and just cut it out. This plastic is a little bit tougher, and the way I did it was not precisely, because I'm not going to do that with this goofy box cutter. It's not precision. I essentially am just going to cut over and down to make sure I have that opening on my Diva. Okay, I just realized one of the lines wasn't up far enough. Let me put this back on here. Trace it. I'll show you what I did, because I want to make sure if I want to hang her earrings down, they'll hang and show. If I have cardboard or plastic coming down here, you're not going to be able to see that. So just on the outside of this, okay, I'm going to cut kind of sort of in the shape. Not real precisely, but just kind of sort of in the shape. We're just trying to get a little clearance for the, that one's a little off. Okay, and then, because this is going to be behind her head, okay, we're just going to cut across. And I have ruined many a table this way, cutting into it. I've done that a lot of times. That didn't come out very efficiently. Okay. Okay, and after I cut across there, right about where the ear goes, I'm going to take that little piece off too. So essentially, this is going to look kind of like a little old school football helmet is what this ends up looking like. Okay, let's see if that's kind of it. Okay, do you see the concept of what it is I'm trying to do? You want that portion of her ears and neck to be free of the cardboard, but you still need the hair to come all the way around. So this is essentially what my cut looks like, okay? I make sure it's wide enough by measuring, tracing right around her head, okay? And it's not precise. You know, some of you all may measure and do it a little bit neater, a little bit better than I did, but that's just what you have to do to cut away some of the plastic or cardboard. It's essentially making a little helmet, okay? That's what we're doing, making a little helmet, and that's going to fit in there just like so, okay? So now we're getting ready to glue. Let's glue all of this together. Okay, now that you've got your cardboard cut out just the way that you want it, and you figured out how you want to center your, how your Diva needs to be centered onto the plastic or cardboard that you're using, a simple hot glue gun is what we're going to use to attach your wood or foam or whatever it is that you are using to your plastic or to your cardboard, okay? And I do that by just adding a little bit of glue to the cardboard itself. Okay. And line that, make sure that's lined back up. Okay. And then you want to press that down. Okay, you want to make sure that is all the way together. Now, after you've held that down and made certain that this is all the way stuck together, that's what it looks like on the back. Now, if I had attached the wreath form that came in my kit, this would be back here, and you would absolutely cut your cardboard or your corrugated plastic that comes in the kit before you attach this form. Why? Because you can't cut through the wire, okay? So you would attach the wreath form now, if that's what you're going to use, after you've glued, so that you know where to put your zip ties. Clearly, can't put zip ties down here and cut this. That's not going to work, okay? So in this instance, you normally would put the wreath form on first, but in this instance, it's going to be the third step. After we paint, glue, then we will attach the wreath form if this is what you're using. Really, folks, this is just for hanging the wreath. If you're using my kit, this is 1/8 inch tempered hardboard, and this is corrugated plastic. This isn't doing anything for stability on the back of this wreath, I'm telling you. So if you have the kit or not, that's fine. But don't stress if you don't have this. You can glue a pipe cleaner onto the back of here to make a hoop to hang it on the door. And I will show you how to do that. That can be done at the very end. Okay, so now that we have attached the silhouette form to the plastic, corrugated plastic, it's been cut and trimmed, okay, and fits nicely like a little helmet, kind of looks like a little helmet on the back of there. We're going to start adding our decorations. Now, I have 80 million different containers of balls, so I have a hodgepodge of all kinds of stuff. So I'm just going to use some things that I already have. And we're going to start gluing balls onto this form. Now, I just use a simple hot glue gun and regular mini hot glue sticks. That's all I use. Okay, now I've gathered the balls that I'm going to be using, kind of a silver and a, I don't know, kind of a metallic bronze, I guess that is. Got my glue gun fired up and ready to rock and roll. And I am going to, basically all we're going to do is just glue the balls to the cardboard or to the plastic. Now, I've found, and I can never count the number of balls. I never use the exact same thing twice. I never do. Every wreath I make is different. That's just what happens. This may change if you use the large size front face Diva head. It's going to be a 14-inch form. This is going to be a larger size silhouette. So you may use more balls. I got these balls from Dollar Tree. This might be a combination of Dollar Tree and Walmart. But here is 15 of the small size, not as small as the miniature tree size. Whoops, they're not quite that small. Okay, a little bit bigger than that. 15 of those for $1 at Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree is the best place to get really, really inexpensive ornaments. And right now, Hobby Lobbies, all of their Christmas decor, if you've got a Hobby Lobby in your neck of the woods, all the Christmas stuff is 50% off. I almost lost my mind in there today. I had to get out of there. So let's glue these balls on. Now, I said in one video that I take these off. And initially, a year ago, when I started doing these, I did remove every single one of those. And I found it really didn't matter. It didn't affect how the balls went on for me. And last year when I was trying to make so very many of them, and we ended up having to have some help come in, I just started cutting corners, and I found that it doesn't matter if you keep the end piece on there or not. All we need to do is make sure that these are flush down. Now, one thing I did notice in this Diva, let me turn her over so you all can see the back of her. Not very pretty. I was trying to figure out exactly what I was doing, okay? But there are several places on this first one I did where you can see my cardboard a little bit on the edges when she is upright. So you need to make sure when you're at the edge of your wreath that you get those balls all the way to the end so that it covers up that edge. You see there? Let me turn it this way. You have this little end here. And when you put the ball, when you position it the right way, it covers all of the plastic. When this is hanging on your door or the wall or wherever you put it, you don't want pieces of plastic showing from the front of your wreath. Now, I never really stress about making the back of my wreath pretty. Some people cover them and do all kinds of fancy stuff. I don't. That's just me. I've not had anyone get extremely upset about it. They seem to like what I offer and they keep buying it. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. But this is the process of gluing the balls on. Now, when I glue these balls on, you don't want to put them over the top of her earlobes because you're not going to be able to get her earrings positioned. I go right close to the ear, but we still want a bit of the ear to show, and we still want to hide the little ends of our ornament. Okay, so this is where the different sizes come in. Now, generally, I use larger sizes for the base, and I go back with the smaller size balls and fill in. Now, I don't know if I'm going to have enough of this particular color to keep this pattern going. I need an extension cord on this glue gun to keep this pattern going. I also will add a little bit of glue on the ball itself and stick the other one to it. And have my glue in the right spot. That just helps with security and keeping those balls from coming off. And I just continue this process all the way around. And see, we would stick one, probably use a smaller one in this little space so we don't cover up her entire ear. Going to use a smaller one like that. Okay, and this is why you want balls in all different sizes so that you can fill in exactly the way her hair needs to go. And I stick little dabs of glue everywhere that I feel like I can to attach one ball to the other. Okay, all three of these are stuck together. Okay, so we're just going to keep on going with the colors. And you just continue this process all the way around, filling in as much space as you can. So I'm going to just keep on gluing these balls. You will add some balls to the actual, kind of over the hairline here in the front. There's going to be some that actually end up on her forehead. And you kind of have to gauge it to what works for your taste. I can't tell you exactly how you want your Diva's hair to look. These are just general guidelines on how to put the balls on. But I do end up putting a few balls right on that wood on her hairline. I decided to add a little bit of color. It was looking boring and I wasn't really feeling it. But you may end up having to take some balls off, put some different balls on. You know, it's kind of trial and error. As I said, each one is different. So I just keep going. Sometimes I have to hold her up, take a little peek. Oops, got glue on the back of there. Take a little peek at her this way and see, you know, the areas where I need to cover up more. You see that? Add a few more balls so that when she's standing upright like this on the door, you don't see any of that, okay? So I'm just going to keep on gluing and try to get a general idea of how many balls I used on this size Diva. I continue to add balls, colors, different things. I've got little picks, different little embellishments, cute little pretty things you can put on there. I decide where I want to position those and hot glue those as well. So we're just going to keep working on this thing and adding stuff until I feel like it is finished. You know, this is your custom creation, so you can do it the way you see fit. I think I am going to add, if I can find some pink glitter, I think I'm going to do her lips in pink since I've added these pink balls. Or maybe some pink eyeshadow, something to tie the pink in. But I'm just going to keep working on her just a little bit. So you can see I've added a few more things on here. I just keep going. I did a little Mod Podge and eyeshadow. I did change her lips. You remember I had red lips on here and I had already cut out some stuff on the Cricut just to show y'all what it would look like. I went ahead and changed her lips to the silver, like she's got on silver lipstick there. And I am going to use the same silver vinyl Cricut paper. You know, it comes on a roll. I'm going to trace this part of her neck and I'm going to make her a shirt. And then we're going to add something hot pink down here to tie this all together. Now, this isn't exactly Christmas colors, but I guess because it's Christmas balls, we just keep calling her the Christmas Diva. So I'm going to trace, let's see, that side's got a little crease on it. This little scrap of paper I had. I'm going to trace and make her a little shirt. This is essentially a big giant piece of glitter sticker paper. Okay, so I'm going to just trace this and cut it out and make her a shirt. That's what we're going to do. Okay, and I'm going to cut that out. Okay, you guys, so this is what the finished Diva looks like. And you can see the back is ugly. Oh, and I do want to show you how to put the pipe cleaner on there. I will go over that right quick. I changed her lips. I'm not so sure I'm feeling those lips. Those are kind of big. But this is what she looks like in a nutshell. Okay? And that is using actually all things Dollar Tree except for the silhouette itself, of course, the kit that you would get from me. But this is a piece of glitter vinyl. Now this Cricut vinyl, never seen that at Dollar Tree. You're gonna have to go to Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, some store like that for that. But this is a piece of Cricut vinyl. Now the face and all of that, you can paint it on or you can vinyl it on, okay? But these are just little seed beads from Dollar Tree. They come in a little package like this. Her glitter was a little bottle of glitter from Dollar Tree. I used Mod Podge to get that on. These balls came from Dollar Tree. Her earrings are the little tiny Christmas tree that they sell, the little miniature tree. Those are ornaments off that tree. And this is my Diva wreath, okay? And that, I'll do a count real quick on these balls and let you know exactly how many there are. But that is how to put together the front-facing Diva wreath using the CraftT Creations Diva wreath kit. Now let me show you how to put the pipe cleaner on the back so that you can hang it on the door or on your wall. So what I do to make the hanger on the back, I just twist two pipe cleaners together. These came from Dollar Tree as well. Just so happens they match. I don't think it matters. You can make it match whatever you've got going on the front. Just use a basic black even. But I twist two of these together. The Dollar Tree ones are a little bit thin and flimsy. And I don't know that it matters the brand. But I twist two of these together and make a loop. Twist the bottom a little bit. Well, if I can get it to go. Make a loop, twist the bottom a little bit. And then I'm just going to glue this with my hot glue gun right to the back of this wreath, okay? Tilt this down so you can see what I'm doing here. All right, and I'm just going to glue this right on here. Okay, made a little tail on there. And that's essentially all I'm doing. I'm just going to add a little hook to be able to hang this wreath on a door using a wreath form or anything like that. I always keep a little popsicle stick for when I need to push that down so I don't have to stick my finger into that hot glue. But that's going to take a second to dry because I used a lot of glue. So we're just going to hold that down and let this dry. And this can be hung on one of the wreath hangers, a nail. I've started using the command strips. That's still a little bit wet. I've started using the command strips, the command hooks with a little strip on them. Those are awesome. And then they don't mess up your walls. So we're going to let that dry. And that is how you hang. Yep, that's still a little bit wet. That's how you hang your wreath up if you do not add this metal wreath form to the back. Okay, so that's what the back of the wreath looks like. And when I do the first drop of glue on this, I put it on. It's really thick. I use a lot of glue. I let it dry. And after it dries and it's stuck in place, I put one more pile of hot glue on the top, right over glue on top of glue. Well, that is pretty much the basic assembly of our new 2020 Christmas Diva. We call it the front-facing Diva. So if you go on our website, www.crafttcreations.com, you can get our 4-piece kit. We have 3 different ones. We have the front face Diva, which is the one I just did, the regular Diva, which is what we released last year, and the praying Diva that we released earlier this winter. Comes with 4 pieces. You're going to get a silhouette. You will get a wire wreath form. You will get a piece of corrugated plastic. The size will depend on what size silhouette head that you choose. And you'll also get the zip ties that you need to attach the wreath form to the corrugated plastic. You can find that over on our website at www.crafttcreations.com. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, y'all, while we created the front-facing Diva. This is the final version of what we just did. Still not so sure I'm feeling those lips, but all in all, I think she's awfully pretty. Here's the other one that I did in the green and silver. And this was the very first one I did in black, red, and silver. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. And be sure to head over to our website and check out our new kit that we have. We do have some other new ones that are going to be released in time for Black Friday. We'll be announcing those this weekend. But you can find any of our kits or any of the components of our kits over on our website at crafttcreations.com. Don't forget that second T. You can find me right here on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'm CraftT Creates on this channel. You can find me over at Facebook, also as CraftT Creates, and on Instagram as CraftT of KC. Also, if you need to contact us for any reason, if you put a message to me in regards to an order or anything like that in the comments below, I'm probably not going to see it. Send us a message over at customer service at crafttcreations.com, or you can fill out the contact form on the website. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today while we created our 4th DIY Diva kit, the front-facing Diva. And that kit is on our website, www.crafttcreations.com. Thank you so much for joining us today, and happy crafting.